Forget it. Let's continue. You're gonna take away. You're gonna take our slaves. But this guy doesn't know how to speak English, I'd say.
Slaves away.
Away.
In 1819, there were 11 free states
In 1819, there were 11 free states and 11 slave states.
and 11 slave states.
A perfect balance.
A perfect balance. A happy medium.
A happy medium. And a harmonious relationship.
A harmonious relationship. Hey,
Hey guys.
nice to meet you.
Hey guys, nice to meet you.
I'm Missouri, and
I'm Missouri.
I would like to become the 23rd state.
And I'm going to become the 23rd state.
Hey, buddy, welcome
Hey buddy, welcome to the nation.
to the nation. We'll be happy to
Well, we'll be happy to accept you as a free state.
accept you as a free state. Oh,
Oh no,
no, you don't. You're trying to get one over on us.
you're trying to get one over on.
Missouri's going to be a slave
Missouri's gonna be a slave state.
state. Okay,
Okay, listen, why don't we ask Missouri
listen. Why don't we just ask Missouri what it wants
what it wants to be?
to be? And we slave state.
Slave states. Wow. Well,
Well,
then allow me to introduce to you
then allow me to introduce to you the newest, freshest state on the scene,
the newest, freshest state on the scene,
Maine.
Maine.
Hey, you
Hey, you can do that.
can't do that, and you can't have any more slave states above this line.
And you can't have any more slaves above this line. Oh, that's the Missouri Compromise line.
What?
What?
The issue of slavery is solved,
The issue of slavery is solved
and it will never come up again.
and will never come up again. Hooray! But there's still 12. 12 equal number. 0.
Again. A few years later, it came up again. You see,
A few years later, it came up again.
as America expanded
As America expanded
westward, each new state or territory that was added
each new state or territory that was added
threatened to upend the delicate balance
in the delicate balance between the slave and free state.
between the slave and free states. If one faction
If one faction managed to number the other,
managed to outnumber the other, it could gain an easy majority
it could gain an easy majority
and force its own ideals on the opposing
on the opposing side,
side, leaving a huge portion
leaving a huge portion
of the population feeling spiteful and
feeling spiteful and depressed.
oppressed. For a while, compromises kicked the can down the
For a while, compromise kicked the can out the road, and the can was slavery.
road and kept the volatile balance in
It kept the volatile balance in check.
as new free and slave states were roughly added in
As new and free states were roughly added in Paris. Are you serious? In Paris is France? And not here? There's no France in here. I think so. Florida? Okay.
Paris. But then one loudmouth state just had
But then one landmass state had to
barge in and ruin everything
as usual. I'm curious.
as usual.
And it's Texas. And yeah, Texas is always crazy. Who knows about gunshots and wears boots? And yeah, you're also a Swiss state too.
The addition of Texas
The addition of Texas
saw the United States enter into a war with Mexico,
enter a war with Mexico,
which they won,
which they won,
gaining a huge amount of land out west
gaining a huge amount of land out west
and creating even more
problems.
problems. Hey guys,
Hey guys, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. I'm California, and I would like to become the 31st state.
I'm California, and I would like to become the 31st state.
Hey buddy, welcome to the nation.
Oh, buddy, hello, buddy. Welcome to the nation.
We'll be happy to accept you as a southern slave
We'll be happy to accept you as a southern slave state.
state. Oh no, you don't.
Oh no, you don't.
You're trying to get one over on us.
They're trying to get one over on this.
California's going to be a free state.
California's gonna be a free state.
Okay, listen. What?
Okay, listen.
Why don't we just ask California what?
We just ask California on what it wants to be. Yeah, like the same thing.
It wants to be, and we can free state.
Free state. One more thing.
Well, then,
allow me to introduce to you
allow me to introduce to you the territories of New Mexico and Utah,
the territories of New Mexico and Utah,
able to freely vote for slavery themselves.
able to freely vote for slavery in the South.
Hey, you can't do
Hey, you can do
that. And we can enter Northern Territory anytime we want to recapture escaped slaves.
And we can enter into Northern Territory anytime to recapture escaped slaves.
What?
What?
The issue of slavery is solved.
The issue of slavery is solved,
Then it will never come up again.
and it will never come up again.
A few years later,
And a few years later, it came up again.
it came up again. In 1854, a
In 1854, a Democratic senator from Illinois,
Democratic senator from Illinois
that's Stephen A. Douglas,
wanted to build a really cool choo-choo
wanted to build a really cool choo-choo train here. What the hell is that train?
train here and proposed that the territories of Kansas and
And proposed the territories of Kansas and
Nebraska be created open to slavery,
be created to open to slavery.
even though they were clearly above the Missouri Compromise
Even though they're clearly above the Missouri Compromise line.
line. Obviously, the northern states were like,
Obviously, the northern states were like, hell no.
hell no. But the southern Democrats who controlled Congress
But the Southern Democrats who control Congress
at the time were like,
at the time were like,
well, if you love
but if you want liberty
and democracy
and democracy,
so much, then you should let them vote on whether slavery
and then you should let them vote on whether slavery
should be legal
should be legal
or not. And so it was.
And so it was.
Huge numbers of pro and anti-slavery settlers rushed to
A huge number of pro and anti-slavery settlers rushed to Kansas to sway their vote in their favor.
Kansas to sway the vote in their favor. And while they were all there,
And while they were all there,
they began to beat the crap out of
and they began to beat crap out of
each other. One of those settlers was a man named John
One of those settlers was a man named John
Brown, a former businessman who
a former businessman
failed at just about
failed at just about everything he tried and went arguably
insane.
Insane.
He was a radical abolitionist and dedicated much of his life to
And he was a radical abolitionist
the Underground Railroad
and to the Underground Railroad and freeing slaves.
One night,
One night, in revenge for an earlier raid
by pro-slavery
by pro-slavery
forces, he and his sons killed a
number of pro-slavery settlers. That's not good.
number of pro-slavery settlers in
But it won't tell me
the territory, helping to
kickstart
years of violence known as Bleeding
Kansas. For about 55 people died.
Kansas and Nebraska both
Kansas and Nebraska both eventually voted in favor
of outlawing
slavery.
But from here, the
the tension began to grow at a rapid pace.
tension began to grow at a rapid pace. In
Humans may think they're atop the food chain, but these legends of the animal kingdom possess truly.
In 1850,
In 1852, author Harriet Beecher
author Harriet Beecher Stowe penned
penned
Uncle Tom's Cabin, a best-selling novel
a best-selling novel that exposed the terrible cruelty. Wait, is this Queen Victoria in England?
that exposed the terrible cruelty of slavery to the world.
That exposed the terrible slavery to the world.
Oh, how awful.
Oh,
How morally corrupt a
how morally corrupted
nation must be to allow such things to happen. Your Majesty, what should we do about it?
Who is this guy? Why does this tea look so funny? Your Majesty, what should we do
All the starving children working in the coal mine.
about all the starving children working on the coal mines? That's not nice.
Nothing.
Nothing. You agree on not on slavery. Why you still agree on the children not working on the coal mines? That's not good.
In 1854,
In 1854, the Republican Party was formed.
and Abraham Lincoln emerged
as a leading figure.
as a leading figure. Southern Democrats
Southern Democrats viewed the new Republican Party
with mistrust.
believing it to be radical and abolitionist. abolitionist.
believing it to be radical and abolitionist.